Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new chapter or episode of RWBY Volume 6, which is on episode or chapter 8. This chapter seemed a little bit simple, so if the recap becomes very short, don't be surprised. There might be one scene that I'm not going to be explaining or even give much detail on because I don't think it's really much worth it, even if it was for comedic services. So if anything else, let's go. We have to it that Ruby and her friends were trying to talk to the guards about having to go to Atlas, but they go, no, the Atlas border is closed. They go like, can't we talk to the general, please? And we have to it that Crow tries to make up an excuse where Weiss has to go home or something, and apparently we get introduced to another short stack character, which apparently Maria, or the Grim Reaper, has very bad heated ties with, apparently. In other words, they're enemies. And apparently, after much argument in here and there, that short stack of a captain that I don't even freaking remember her name, and I don't even bother to, has a duty to do guard the freaking radio tower or make sure no one's gonna be crossing to Atlas, blah, 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 blah. And everything starts to be a little out of control until she says, we are willing to escort Weiss back to Atlas home, but we will not be responsible for her friends. So they left and closed the gate, and I'm thinking about mine, yeah, you or something. And we see to it, of course, Nora, Ren, and John says we got Ozpin to try to solve the issue, and Crow, on the other hand, doesn't care about the plan, and he just went off to go drink, etc. However, there's one thing to be concerned about is that Team RWBY decides to tell Nora, Jean, and Ren about this. This really upsets Jean, Ren, and Nora. It's like, are you effing serious? What the hell have we been doing throughout this entire time then, you know? That's what they've been wondering. And we have to it that Oscar goes like, hey man, I don't know. We're not the bad guys here. And of course, Jean goes to Oscar and says, are you sure about that? How do we know that you're not him, huh? Blah, blah, blah. Jean was actually starting to be a little heated and slammed Oscar to a wall, asking him for answers. But we have two that RWBY tells him to knock it off. That's not how you're going to handle things clearly in the right way. What the hell's wrong with you kind of thing, you know? Therefore, Jean decides to go to his room upstairs, while Ren and Nora decide to take time for themselves, as for everyone else. We have to it that Ruby goes outside to try to do some thinking, and she meets up with the Grim Reaper, Maria, or just the Grim Reaper alone, if I have to say so myself. I mean, like, call me crazy for thinking that, but yeah. Aside from that, we have to it that Maria, or should I say the Grim Reaper, former Grim Reaper, talks to Ruby about her silver eyes beforehand, but she said that she went to the backyard to avoid all the yelling here and there, you know? This ain't gonna make anything right or worse. Or actually, it'll make things worse than... Yeah, sorry for mixing up my words pretty badly. But aside from that, we have to it that she decides to teach Ruby about her eyes here and there. So she did say that, like, the power of those eyes are so rare and legendary that Maria herself, she has a semblance which includes reflexes in her training. Well, just reflexes alone or something, if anything. And combine that with her training and her silver eyes, she was formidable, and that's the reason why she was considered the Grim Reaper. But eventually, you know, we all know what happened to her, obviously. But as time passes on, she teaches Ruby that, like, when you used your eyes, what did you think about? And Ruby says, her friends, you know? And she goes like, exactly. Life must be protected and must be valued at all costs. Do not use your power to destroy, but to protect those who needs it, especially the Water Remnant. But we have to it that Ruby also knows that the Silver Eye powers will only work when Grimm is around. But Ruby says this doesn't make any sense then, right? Why is it able to work when I was going against Cinder or something, you know? She did not have any Grimm. But apparently, we all do know that Ruby does not know herself that Cinder is actually has part Grim inside her, which is why it worked on her in the first place. And we also get to know that the god of light is the one that created the silver-eyed warriors to counter the Grim, you know. And I'm like, oh wow, I did not realize that until like Maria mentioned it, or I just didn't bother thinking about it because I'm too busy with other things in life. But aside from that, yeah. So the silver-eyed warriors are created from the god of light to counter the Grim, which is good. I mean, good balance here and there. But as time continues on with its chapter episode towards the ending, we have to it that Team RWBY and Jean and Nora and Ren get a message that Oscar went missing, which I go like, there's only one thing or a couple theories or hypotheses that I could come up with if Oscar's missing. One, he's nowhere to be found because the city's big. Two, he is kidnapped by freaking Cinder or possibly Neo. And three, I don't know. Maybe he might have like went somewhere that no one can find him, but who knows? There are many hypotheses and theories of why Oscar went missing, but you know, now's not the time to talk about that due to the fact that this is just a recap. So like I said, just a border freaking comedic meeting, which I didn't give too much detail on. The meeting with having to know that Salem can't be killed, and another part where like Ruby is taught about her silver eyes, and the final is where Oscar went missing. So yeah, that's about it. That's all I can give out. I will see you guys in my next video. I'm Alpha Zero, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, right? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!